Welcome back to another Captain Trox video. Today, we are going to do a couple Star Wars stories. Well, we're going to do one Star Wars story, but we're doing a couple different Star Wars stories today, and they're going to be uploaded on different days, but I hope you all enjoy. The Republic is at war. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, the head of the Galactic Republic, has committed thousands of clone troopers to fight the Separatist Alliance. As planets choose sides, the galaxy is divided. Only the Jedi can keep the Republic from falling apart. Jedi Generals Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi lead the fight against the Separatist Alliance droid army on the planet Christophsis. The first time Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker met, they weren't too sure that they would get along. Anakin was a famous Jedi after all, and Ahsoka was just a young Padawan. He didn't want a little girl tagging along on his dangerous missions, and she didn't like that he treated her like a child. But Master Yoda had assigned Ahsoka to be Anakin's Padawan, and to assist him on the planet Christophsis. Master Yoda was the wisest of all the Jedi, and no one questioned his decisions. When Ahsoka first arrived, Anakin was too busy for her. He thought she was just a kid and would only get in the way. "I'm not just a kid," Ahsoka fumed. "I'm a Jedi." This was during the Clone Wars. Count Dooku, a former Jedi, had started a war, and a lot of planets joined with him. They were called the Separatist Alliance. The Republic had to stop them. The planet Christophsis was under attack, and Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi was leading the Republic's clone army into battle against the Separatist droid army. It looked bad at first. The Separatists had a gigantic energy shield, and the clone troopers couldn't pass through it. But luckily, Anakin had a plan. Ahsoka and Anakin snuck behind enemy lines, and Anakin jumped out and started attacking the droids. That was just a distraction, though. It was Ahsoka's job to set the explosive charges around the shield generator. But when she finished, she noticed that Anakin was surrounded by enemy droids. Ahsoka had to help, so she used the Force to pull a wall down on top of the droids. It was a close call. The wall crashed down around Anakin, just missing him on all sides. Although he was safe, Anakin was very angry at Ahsoka. "You could have gotten me killed," Anakin yelled. Ahsoka frowned. She hadn't really thought of that. But the explosives were set. Ahsoka pushed the button on the detonator, and the shield was destroyed. The Republic was now able to destroy the droid army. The battle was over. The Republic had won. Finally, after returning to camp, Anakin and Ahsoka reported back to Yoda. He asked how Ahsoka was doing. "Uh-oh," thought Ahsoka as she turned to Anakin. "I admit that Ahsoka is a little rough around the edges," Anakin said. "That didn't sound good. But with training, she might be able to amount to something." Anakin smiled down at Ahsoka. She had done well, after all. "Then go with you, she will, to Teth system," Yoda said. "Rhoda, Jabba the Hutt's son, has been kidnapped." The Jedi and his student were off to Teth to help find him. It was time for Ahsoka's first real mission, and she was excited. She had been training to become a Jedi for a very long time. Now she was boarding a spaceship ready for adventure. Before she left, though, Yoda warned it would be hard. She should have listened to him. It would turn out to be more dangerous than Ahsoka ever could have dreamed. Anakin and Ahsoka's gunship dropped out of space. 100 other spaceships flew with them. The battle had already begun. Ships exploded all around. "This isn't practice, Ahsoka," Anakin yelled over the noise. R2-D2 blipped, agreeing. "Humph," Ahsoka thought. "I know, and I'll try not to get you killed," she joked. But she was desperate to prove herself to her master. Boom! A blast hit their ship. Ahsoka looked out the window. Their wing engine was smoking. Down below, Ahsoka saw a temple on top of a hill. It was their only shot. Anakin and Ahsoka jumped out at the last minute. R2-D2 right behind them. Their ships exploded. Seconds later, hundreds of clone troopers dropped right behind them into the jungle of death. Droids started firing from everywhere. Anakin yelled at the troops to follow him. Up ahead was a temple hidden in the trees. The little Huttlet Rhoda was in there somewhere. "Here we go," Ahsoka said to herself. She was scared. Yoda said that fear is a way to the dark side of the Force. So Ahsoka tried to calm herself down. But as she rushed up toward the droids, it was hard not to be frightened. Finally, Anakin and his Padawan made it to the top of the hill. Ahsoka slashed through a group of droids. The troopers held back the rest of the Jedi as the Jedi and R2-D2 ran down into the temple. Ahsoka looked up at Anakin, hoping he saw how brave she was. But he wasn't even paying attention. That's when Ahsoka noticed it too. "Master, you know you're walking us into a trap," she said. Ahsoka saw separatist droids hiding in the shadows. Ahsoka could also sense the dark side. This wasn't good at all. "I know," Anakin said. They snuck through to the back of the temple. Just before they opened the last door, a bunch of droids leaped out. Ahsoka quickly destroyed all of them. Well, almost. Anakin had to take out the last one. He wasn't happy that Ahsoka had missed it, but he didn't say much. He just opened the last temple door. There sat Rhoda, crying at the back of the dungeon. He wasn't as ugly as his father, Jabba. He did smell, though. Yuck, Ahsoka thought. She picked up the Huttlet and put him in her backpack. Rhoda coughed, then gurgled. The young Jedi could feel his fever. This wasn't good. "Master, we've got to find a way out of here," Ahsoka said. Rhoda was definitely sick. He needed a doctor. "We can't let this little guy die. Our job is to protect this hut. It's too dangerous," Anakin said. "You have to listen to me," Ahsoka grimaced. She knew he was going to say that. "I do listen to you, Master. I just don't like being treated like I'm a youngling," Ahsoka said. "You must have patience." "What are you trying to prove anyway?" Anakin asked. "That I'm not too young to be your Padawan," Ahsoka whispered. Anakin put a hand on her shoulder and smiled. Then his smile slowly disappeared. Ahsoka frowned. Something was off. They could sense it in the Force. "Ventress," Anakin said. "The Sith assassin," Ahsoka thought. "Was she why I could sense the dark side?" "She's here to kill the hut," Anakin yelled. "Come on!" Anakin started to run. Ahsoka, with Rhoda on her back, tried to keep up, but it was too late. When they reached the stairs, 4 super battle droids blocked the exit. A cloaked figure stepped out. It dropped its cloak and lifted 2 red lightsabers. It was Asajj Ventress, and she wasn't going to let the 2 Jedi go without a fight.